quiet seaside town, an evil lain to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, episode 155. Guys, it's the Roots of Ruin.
Wow.
That's what we're doing right now. We're doing our game. I'm Lars Casteen. Welcome to the show. Joined tonight, as always, by Robin Lange.
Good that time. I'm not alienating anyone tonight. Isn't that nice?
No more alien. We've done that enough. We've alienated people for 154 episodes. We decided to try something different for episode 155. Joined today also by David the Tin Man Chernicoff.
Good that time, Lars.
Good that time, Zoe Chernicoff.
Good this time with all of us in it.
Good this time. And our Matt Humphreys.
Good ferret time, which I will explain in a moment.
Okay,
Feel
then.
free to explain right now. I'm happy for that not lying, hanging over anybody's head for any longer than it absolutely must.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Good ferret time. What are you saying?
Is there a ferret in your pants?
Oh, that's related to our conversation that we're about to have?
It is. There is.
Well, then let's just have it. Let's
Oh.
just do it. Friends, we have a topic. We've read an article. David sent an article around. We're all reacting to it. Ferrets might be involved. David, what are we talking about? What is this article we've all been perusing for these last 5 minutes or so?
I'm glad you put it that way because I pasted this article into our group chat as being something that would be good to talk about on the show, but did not read it. It was just smart.
Yeah.
I commented on it and did not read it.
Yeah, that's typically not typically my jam. Like I usually at least scan for plausibility before I stick my neck out. But
Sure.
the headline, "World First Tooth Regrowing Drug Will Be Given to Humans in September," was just too, I don't even know, choose your
point?
food metaphor. Too sweet, too spicy, too tasty.
So there's a drug trial.
It is a drug trial of an experimental drug, which has been, to Armat's transitional point from a moment ago, it has been successfully tested in ferrets.
Yeah.
And when tested in ferrets, caused the ferrets, I guess, missing teeth to regrow. The reason they tested on ferrets and mice is that apparently ferrets have a lot in common, like genetically, tooth-wise, with people.
Sure. I'm always saying that.
Yeah. I have
Which
been saying
is
that.
nuts.
My dentist won't shut up about it.
Does your dentist, do you think, practice on ferrets? Is your dentist constantly, just like on the weekend, moonlighting in ferret tooth, like investigations and so on?
Oh, definitely. He's got the mannerisms too. He starts going like
Armin, I
ferrets
have a
do
question.
when
I
he
don't
gets
want you to take this
excited.
the wrong way. Is it possible that your dentist is actually a ferret?
Oh shit! God damn it! Not again!
So specifically what it says is that
Okay, good.
is that mice and ferrets are species that share close to the same properties as humans of this one particular, I'm going to use the wrong word, like biomarker? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a protein. It's USAG1, which is short for
Mhm.
uterine sensitization associated gene 1 protein, which
Yeah.
suppresses tooth growth. So I guess you suppress this protein and it stops suppressing tooth growth. Apparently, the ferret's teeth regrew. They have a picture here of a regrown ferret tooth. Needless to say, it does not look much like a human tooth. And they go on from there to say that, at Kyoto University, this new drug to regenerate lost teeth will be apparently trialed in humans. And so we're moving to Japan.
If this works, this is like phenomenal. Like this is great, right? Like
Totally.
are we in favor of regrowing teeth around here? Are we pro teeth regrowment?
I see the potential.
Okay.
I see the potential. I've got some questions. I'm sure we all do,
Same.
right? Can we just whiteboard some questions, which I will assume David has the answers, and David, you have to answer them whether you do or not.
Oh, that's a good way to do this. Let's do this as a press conference.
I love this.
Having barely read this article and not being personally vested in the answer, will attempt to allay all
great.
your concerns.
Can you control where the teeth regrow?
That's my question.
Why would you want to?
Like, because the purpose is to get a tooth where there isn't a tooth, where you want, like, this tooth comes out and you want to replace it. But, like, as I don't think I should even repeat the thing that I said in the group chat.
People can imagine.
About my fears
the
of
best.
where
Why
teeth
ever
could
not,
come
Robin?
out. where the
Yes.
teeth could grow.
Well, here's the thing, though. Teeth could grow anywhere all the time anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you hear bizarre stories about teeth growing in all sorts of strange places.
Do you?
Those people seem to be into it, so it's fine. Well, I guess not into it, but it does happen. Like in bad situations. Okay, yeah, I get where you're coming from. It seems bad.
No.
Well-
you just get rid of the last part of it, and you are nailing this press conference thing, dude. You're all over it. I can't even begin to formulate an answer, and you've already spun the thing back as a positive. This is
Okay,
your
good.
calling. You just don't apologize for it at the end.
There's also the there's tooth growing from like your finger or whatever. Like there's upsetting non-mouth regrowth. There's also the more probably I would imagine more biologically likely, again, knowing everything scientific about this process. Like you get your wisdom teeth pulled, but your front tooth gets knocked out, and then you take this and all 4 wisdom teeth regrow, right? Like you wouldn't want that.
Right?
We can neither confirm nor deny that wisdom teeth can only be grown in full sets of 4.
Okay, my next question here is a little bit more of a niche, which is if you get below the mice and ferret thing, it points out that in fact the high amino acid homology that we share with humans and mice extends to, and verbatim, beagles. Why just beagles? Why not other? Like what's going on with beagle teeth that's different than other dog teeth?
We can neither confirm nor deny the genetic superiority of beagles.
Guys, I looked up, so when the teeth grow in places that they're not supposed to grow, it's called teratoma. And I looked up teratoma on Google Images, and I really wish I hadn't.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, Robin, I'm never going to do that for the rest of my
I really
life.
wish I hadn't.
It's never
I'm really
happening.
upset.
Robin,
It's
if you had
never-
told me-
it's not even once going to happen.
Oh,
I tried this really
yeah.
cool new obscure food the other day. It's called teratoma. I just would have Googled it.
Right. I went to this amazing teratoma place in the Lower East Side the other day.
Yeah, what is
You got to search for it. Just search for lower teratoma. That's all you need to search for. And it's going to give you everything you're looking for.
teratoma?
God, I'm
that
hungry
Chechen
now.
delicacy. Oh, I should probably
Yeah.
go find it.
They do a 9-course teratoma. It's to die for.
Amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nails, teeth, hair. They're all so freaking weird, guys.
But here's the thing. If this thing gets to where it is that we're all imagining it could get to, and people who have lost their teeth due to all kinds of different, problems all over the world, a world in which people are able to regrow teeth, I think is a world with, and I'm realizing I'm getting serious for a second, and I maybe that's not appropriate, but that's a happier world, right? A world where people, where there's affordable tooth replacement therapy that people can regrow their teeth after they suffer whatever horrible things might befall a person that causes them to lose an undue number of teeth.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for these ferrets. I hope these ferrets figure this thing out.
Look, we can neither confirm nor deny the radical transformative potential of this emerging ferret tooth technology.
All right.
Mr. Chernicoff, just one more question, please. Can you comment on the question that has been going around the internet about an immortal ferret god with infinite teeth?
Yes, it's coming for us all.
Oh, God.
Like a ferret shark hybrid. Teeth just keep coming.
They do keep coming. And you know what else keeps coming, everybody?
5-star reviews.
No, we're not talking about today.
Dang,
Today,
I thought I had it.
yeah. We're breaking off a 5, everybody. This is episode 155. That means it's time for us to promote some stuff, to tell you what it is that's happening around the Tabletop Gold universe. Here's what's up. Patreon. We've got our Patreon. We put
Just
premium
do it.
shows.
Do it. Just back it.
Just do it. Just back it.
You wanted the hard sell, right? You wanted me to push that in the back?
Yeah, if you could make and if everybody other than me could make a menacing glare at the camera while I'm talking, that would actually be like extremely helpful for me. The Patreon. We put premium shows out every single week. The Patreon is what helps us grow, what helps us take on new stuff, what helps us develop new shows, what helps us Zoe, what helps us
freaky, right?
you know, keep going, grow, get better. You get it. I'm distracted by how chaotic everything is right now, but you understand what I'm saying.
We'll stop this for just $5 a month.
Yeah.
$5 a month.
Or I
We'll
can
put
keep
Lars
glaring
out of
at you
his
for $10
misery.
a month, depending on what
Do you
you
want
want
to?
more.
Do you want to hear the end of Lars's sentence? That'll be $5 a month.
That'll be $5. That's right.
This is episode 155. Since the last time we broke off a 5 and we talked about this stuff, we have released the entirety of our 2-part Fiasco series called The Kindred Diamonds. Fiasco, the storytelling game, rules light, narrative focused, story, scenes, fun times game. We did a version, we made a playset based on the television program The Righteous Gemstones, and or inspired by it anyway. And you can watch the entire series of that right now. Our friend Scott joined us for this game. It was a lot of fun. It's ridiculous. It's super silly, but there's still some drama to it. So please check that out. We've got episodes of The Goldmine, our companion show for our weekly podcast, behind-the-scenes stories, deep conversations about role-playing games, rules discussions, and more. It's a good time. If you like this show, you're going to like The Goldmine. Also, we have Goldmine Rewind, our show where we go back and look at the back catalog of The Roots of Ruin and talk about what was happening during the earliest episodes of the show. Just this last week, we put out an episode where Zoe and I talked about episodes 21 through 30 of this podcast. I really enjoyed this episode. We got Zoe's thoughts about the game. We got some of the origin of Norman and Ao. And we talk about the Beffrey, Jeffrey, Joffrey, Meffrey stuff. It's an interesting conversation, pretty illuminating. I think you're going to like it. So check it out if you haven't listened to it yet. Our Patreon is very simple. $5 gets you audio, $10 gets you video. And if you want to support us more than that, which we, of course, heartily encourage, there are tiers going all the way up that get you all kinds of other cool stuff. So there you go. That's the
and
Patreon.
Tiers coming for you if you don't join the tiers. Am I right?
I get it.
That's why they're
Oh.
calling
Mm.
that.
So you can.
That's-
homophone.
You know what else is a homophone? What else is a homophone is Discord. If you're not on our Discord, come over. You can find the link on our. You can find the link anywhere you find any of the rest of our stuff. Our website, our Twitter, anywhere. Go there, hang out, submit hero point cards. You can do the whole thing. You can participate in a totally awesome community on our Discord. So if you're not there already, what are you doing? Join the Discord. And there you go. Before we move on, I just want to ask one last little bit of promo. If you're listening to us on a podcast app, please leave a rating or a review if your app supports it. And if you're watching our show on YouTube, please give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. That's it. We did it. Let's get into it. Let's play our game. It's the morning after an eventful day that started with being stood up by a squad from Absalom's Star Watch and ended with being attacked by Belcora Haravex herself. It seems as though the ancient mastermind of the Abomination Vaults is able to see through the wisps inhabiting the swampy environs of the dungeon's 8th level, deep, deep below Galarian's surface. After a long night coming to terms with the new perils facing your group, it's time to make preparations for another push straight into the heart of danger. It's the morning of Erastus the 8th. It's an Oath Day. The weather is nice. It's a high around 80s, cloudy all day, no participation. That's not the word. No precipitation.
Dew point?
Dew point is looking real good. They shined it up. They put a little spit shine on the dew point, so it's looking very sharp. One of the sharpest dew points that they've done so far. But the humidity is high, so of course the dew point's hair is a little bit frizzy.
I imagine that Trill actually has hit the ground running, and so she's started her morning at probably with Magaloy to do some shopping for different alchemical things, which we've talked about already.
I thought you were going to say having a drink.
No.
I was like, oh, she is hitting the ground running.
Maybe a little tipple while we're at it.
I mean, she checks in on Fidget, make sure he's still alive. We haven't talked about Fidget other than he's just really drunk at the bar.
Yeah. Fidget looks over towards Trill as he sees that you're shopping for these alchemical items. And he says, I was prepared to leave town thinking that my work here was done, but judging from your face, it seems like something is wrong. Maybe I should stick around for a while. What's happening, Trillfus? You see that his hair is starting to go gray as he has stayed in town.
Oh no. That's really upsetting. I think Trill hadn't noticed that before. She's really taken aback to see Fidget starting to show signs of bleaching. She's finishes up her business with Magaloy and goes just next to Fidget.
I know that I probably said one thing, that I just wanted to see the world, but I think I'm here for a larger reason, for something more important, something that needs to be stopped. Did you ever, back home, did you ever really look outside of our town? Did you really look at what was going on beyond Bristlework?
I will say that I've, of course, ventured through the world for many years. I've had my share of incredible experiences, but I've always sort of considered the majority of Cheliax to kind of be flyover country and didn't really spend a lot of time in the immediate areas surrounding the town at the time. But I usually just booked a ride with the fastest carriage and skedaddled on all the way to adventure, just kind of not paying too much attention to what I was passing through.
And isn't that a problem, though? If all we focus on is just adventure and finding new things, eventually there's only so much to see, but there's still so much to do in this world. And if you just ignore the problems because you just want to see the next fun, exciting thing, then what the heck's our purpose here?
Well, there are a number of drinks at this bar I have yet to enjoy, so I'm looking forward to applying my purpose in that direction.
Trill puts her hand on Fidget's shoulder.
I think you might need to start trying to explore something beyond just the bar here. I know you look like you're getting a little tired from just sitting around here so much.
Well, perhaps you're right. If you're telling me you don't need my tutelage or my training anymore, I suppose I can maybe stop my journey inward and start seeing if there's anybody else that might need my help.
You are such a wonderful mentor. I think that's a great idea. And, if I need you again, there's always the post. I can always send you a message.
So Trill pats him on the shoulder and walks out, hurrying off to her next stop. I think she's kind of going place to place to see if there's anything that she needs to purchase before heading back to the dungeon.
Like we've seen Belcora, we know she's a ghost. So any sort of ghost related like anti-ghost anti-ghost maneuvers.
You want to get some anti-ghost?
Yeah. Mag would wake up with anti-ghost on the brain as well. Or with anti-ghost on the brain. I'm guessing when that's where Trill is headed as well, but that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we were grabbing some ghost charges. Those are a great way to deal with them since Trill's not much for like just hitting them with a weapon. Trill already has ghostly touch or ghostly weapon, which means she can make someone else's weapon able to swipe through a ghost.
Okay. Could we had that for a while? Has that always been around?
It has. I think it didn't come up recently because we haven't been dealing with ghosts. We've been dealing with so many devils.
How many of these ghost charges do you think you want to get? Each one is 10 gold pieces.
And that's for the the second level one. So it's like
yeah, it's a level 3
level
that does
3.
a 2d8 vitality damage.
yeah, so not the lesser one, but the one after that.
Exactly.
I would think
I
they're only
think.
10 each. Maybe 10, 100 gold. Does that feel okay to everyone?
2,000, 3,000. Yeah, how beefy is Belcora?
So Trill emerges from Crow's casks with maybe a heavier heart based on this like odd conversation with Fidget, and also a heavier burden as she's carrying a full passel of ghost charges, these alchemical concoctions that Magaloy sells. Can I just say, just like a quick aside, I think it's really fun that in this town, the bar is the alchemical supply shop. Like, I love that this Tengu lady who tends the bar also just makes bombs and stuff. I think that's like very fun.
Right.
Makes sense.
What could go wrong? Getting a bunch of drunk people in your bar and
Yeah, you hear the sound of an explosion as Fidget accidentally drinks a bomb.
Thirsty alpaca all over again.
Part
Yeah.
of what's fun about it is that you have played Magaloy as this very sunny kind of bon vivant. You know, there's a version of the bar that is also the dangerous potion shop that's a little darker
Yeah.
or whatever, a little more Fight Club. But the fact that Magaloy is just like very chipper, always has a brew going for whatever it is that ails you is
right. There's a sort of goth version where they just started selling the drinks to like make their revenue needs.
or to
She's in
launder
it
the
for
money.
the bombs, but you know her spreadsheet every month tells her she had to branch out.
So is Trill doing more shopping beyond Crow's casks, or
I guess not, because I think I wanted more scrolls. There are a couple, so I imagine she's go to the bookstore and get a couple more scrolls.
And Morlabint is happy to sell you any scrolls that you would like. If there's any of those that you want to call out, we can call them out. Otherwise, we can move on.
I think it was just more of, I'm trying to pull up the exact name because everything changed a little bit, right?
It did. It's true. It did change a little bit. Bachika wow.
So, like, right now, she's got one scroll of Clear Mind, one scroll of Sound Body. There was a third one that kind of makes a set out of those, right?
Yeah. And it's great. It's a great question.
Clear Mind, Sound Body,
Robin.
and what's the third one?
Clear Mind, Sound Body, and Cleanse Affliction.
I think that
probably,
sounds about
is the
right,
name of that
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so I think she wanted maybe a full set of those.
It's like
Okay.
Friday Night Lights Otari edition.
Just never know if, like,
Clear Mind, Sound Body, Cleanse Affliction. They run out to the football field. So the issue with this, Robin, and I'm going to let you sort of consider this, and we can handle the bookkeeping about this at a later moment, is that all of these three spells, Clear Mind, Sound Body, Cleanse Affliction, these are like the restoration spells. These are the spells that deal with the like nasty conditions and curses and things like that. They all operate based on the counteract rules, I believe. Am I wrong here?
No, it says attempt to counteract an effect of your choice imposing one of the conditions on the target. Yeah.
So this is a little bit of a risk reward because these spells start off at rank 2, which means that you can get a bad one cheaply. Like you can buy a rank 2 scroll for 12 gold.
No, you know
but
what?
if you're
What I want
ahead.
actually, so I already have 2 4th rank. So 1 4th rank Clear Mind, 1 4th rank Sound Body. So maybe just 1 4th rank Cleanse Affliction. So I have 1 of each.
all right, that's 70 gold pieces for a 4th rank scroll.
How we doing on income or on our coffers?
I'm only going to tell you in no uncertain terms because I think it raises the stakes and makes this tense. But
Ooh.
you're running low on cash.
Okay, this is.
You've got about 90 gold pieces left after you get this this scroll.
We'll probably have some
There's-
things to sell next time we come back to town.
Yeah, there's stuff that we've been hanging on to that we could liquidate.
I think that makes sense, but I also wonder if you guys are maybe now suddenly motivated by something that we haven't really talked about, but is like a classic motivation in games like this, which is it would be really great if you found some treasure. Like it would be a real benefit to your party's mission to find something that you could sell for some money to keep outfitting yourself, because the supplies are starting to dry up slightly.
Why would we sell anything when using the game's methodology for working each day
Here we
is
go.
so deeply lucrative? We could get 2 or 3 coppers.
Maybe full silver if we hit crits.
That's right.
Have we been seeing much return on investment?
Well, I was
with
just
nothing
going to
but
say,
kobolds?
it's funny you should mention all of this, because Ao has gone this morning to check in on DMs and Cork and Kitsune.
Like any good manager.
Okay, so Ao heads in the morning as Trill is at Crow's Casks over to the wreckage of the Thirsty Alpaca. You see Diemsumquirk and Kutsun here start doing their early morning baking, right? Like the bakeries start early. They're up well before the sun comes up. And on a summer day like this, the sun comes up early. So they're deep into their workday by the time you run into them. They are largely pretending to not see Ao. They are working at an oven. You see Kutsun sort of raise an eyebrow over towards Ao, and then quickly put his head back and like continue working at the bread, the cake that he's baking. So Ao gets the sense that there's something a little bit strange happening here today.
Her eyes narrow. She crosses her arms and watches them for a minute, and then just sort of casually sidles around the counter next to them. She says, You meeting our deliverables?
If you have a request, please lodge it in the correct place. And Kutsun points back at a paper with a quill to ask you to like write your thing down. Like he doesn't want to talk to you.
Who is that authorized by?
Well, since recent events transpired, I authorized it because he's just grimacing and he goes back to the oven, and Diemsumquirk looks at you and just whispers. She says, "Did you call the fucking cops on us? Did you send cops to our business? Is that what you did?"
Cops? No. What? Where?
Well, I
Here
got-
or back at the Gauntlet?
Tudre said that he had a couple of cops knocking on his door saying, "What's going on here? We heard there was a business," and they shook him down.
Was this Lardis?
No! Big city cops came through.
The Star Watch?
Yeah!
We don't have a handle on them either. We don't know what they're up to. I didn't call them on you. They came into town. They wanted to go over to the lighthouse. We told them they needed to be careful. You all have been there, you know. I mean, that tavern is one place, but you can't just go wandering around there. I mean, I just died. Belcora's ghost came out, and then she's like off on a whole tangent. She's like, I mean, there's that huge tarantula. You know, you never know if it's a mitflit or a criminal. She's sort of like reliving her trauma in real time, and she's like, anyways, they're not our allies. We're trying to save their asses. What did they do to you all? Should we even be going back?
Well, they just rolled in. They were looking around the tavern, and they said things like, "Can I see a permit for what you're doing here?" And I don't think they had a permit, so things got testy.
Well, I'll fix that for you. And like as they're talking, she's like tearing pages out of a notebook and starting to forge whatever permits they have in Otari that they can hang in the window. She's like, okay, so we don't need to worry about that. How have sales been?
Oh, sales are through the roof.
Do we need more workers? Should we be out looking for more workers? What have profits been like?
Profits have been high for certain people at a certain position in the organization and quite low for other people below a certain position.
That's well, it's regrettable, but it's just the way the system is. I mean, it takes people like you guys, people like me, high on the pyramid to be able to effectively use funds of that magnitude.
Wait, you're saying that only special people know what to do once they have money? Is that what you're saying?
know how to use it best for all of us.
DM Zimkork looks at you and says, "You're not going to send any more cops to the other store, are you?"
No, I didn't send those guys in the first place. We have to go find the rest of their corpses and bring them back here and do a whole census. It's going to be exhausting.
Oh, what a mess. This reminds me of the great bread incident of 4721.
What happened there? I don't know if I read that one in my bakery books when I was helping you guys get this place set up.
Oh, everyone was arrested.
What kind of bread were they making?
Well, the bread was actually drugs. Calling it the bread incident is actually sort of selling it short. It was really more the drugs incident of 4721.
Right. Yeah, that sounds tough. Anyways, you guys are doing great here. And she sort of feels around in her bandolier in her pockets, and she's like, well, here, look, for you, I've got, and she pulls out a basilisk tooth. She hands that to DMs and Cork. And for you, I think this came from, and she realizes it's a kobold tooth, and she's like, no, not that one. Here's
wait, what was that one? What was that one just then?
There's so many. And then she starts like spilling them out of her pockets. Here's a human tooth. I mean, they're a mark of eternal life, that this is the part of these creatures that will go on forever. So keep them safe, because you never know whether they'll allow you to harness the light and control it or not.
They look, I think, disturbed by this. They're
that makes sense.
Listen, no offense. You're a great boss, aside from when you're calling the cops on us.
I didn't do that.
No, Kutson's going to take a while to convince otherwise, but I don't really think we're that comfortable with just sort of having some human teeth at our workstations so much right now.
And human tooth. Well, fine. Here, how about this? And she pulls out the head of the bird from the first floor that she's been keeping with her. This killed Haplo. This is a totem of power and visionary prowess.
I'm sorry, she's carrying around Mr. Beak?
Oh, yeah, she's had the head the whole time. I'm just looking in the old inventory bag. And she hands a crowbar to the other kobold. And this could break basically anything. Is this motivational? I've never been a boss before. I'm only 17.
I'm very sorry for what happened to your friend.
We still
it
haven't
feels
processed
as though
it.
perhaps, and they look at the head of Mr. Beak, perhaps you have not fully processed this yet. If you would ever
Nods.
like to just talk sometime, or even not talk, if you just want to come here and bake, there's always work to do. So that
Great. Yeah,
would be
thanks.
fine if you wanted to do that. But I don't know that we necessarily need the grisly reminders of your the hardship that you have endured so much.
I get that. Well, tell you what, today I need to probably go slaughter some more crabs, but maybe tomorrow.
Oh.
That sounds really nice. Pencil me in. And y'all baking anything good, new around here? Anything I should try? Anything I should,
We do have one thing. We have a level 9 impossible cake now that you can get, which gives you a +3 item bonus to deception checks to impersonate, and lasts for half an hour.
Oh, dang.
That sounds great.
It's impossible.
How much is one of those?
25 gold pieces.
Yeah, let's try it.
All right. This is great. And they sell you one of these greater impossible cakes for 25 gold.
And Ao strolls out of the shop, whistling, pleased at her excellent management skills.
And Ao probably doesn't notice this, but you do get the sense that DM Zumkork and Kudson are both wary as you're leaving. Like they're I think a little bit rattled by this interaction that they just had.
Having your boss show up and offer you teeth and then a bird head didn't suit them?
After she apparently dropped the dime on you to the fuzz.
I don't get it. What do you even do to make people happy in this day and age, you know?
I don't do all that much, and it's working out great for me. So, Ao and Trill done with some initial logistical questions early in the morning. What's next? Are you meeting up in the typical location of the bridge in front of Crooksnock?
That's right.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yep.
And as Istin shows up, he's carrying the staff that Haplo gave him. Incidentally.
The staff with the blue light that you
Yes.
manipulated into awakening somehow last night.
Yeah.
Trill comes up. She's carrying all of these alchemical bottles. She's waiting for the bag of holding, essentially, to show up. And Istin probably notices that Trill's hair this morning, actually, had been very kind of goth. There was it was like black with purple streaks instead of the purple and blue that it was before. And he's noticing some of the light blue starting to come back in her hair. And I don't know if he's seen that before, because I think she might have gone goth before Istin showed up.
I think so. Yeah.
But her hair's, there's less black in it today.
There's less black in it today. That's an interesting choice. Do you have to dye it?
No, being a gnome is it's just one of the things I do. My hair kind of changes colors depending on what's going on in my subconscious. And she trails off.
Right. Well, it looks very nice. Thing the first. Thing the second. There's something going on in your subconscious.
Where's Mag?
Well, I guess Mag approaches.
Oh, Mag, can you open the bag of holding? I've got
A lot of stuff that needs to go in. She kind of starts holding out these 10 bottles that are like they'd be small in Mag's arms, but trying to hold them all together is very difficult for Trill's small frame.
Yeah. It's like a kid who's like needs to clear the table, so they grab everything all at once and start like wandering over to the shelf.
Yeah.
Got to make multiple trips.
Thank you. Mag drops to a knee and opens the bag of holding and removes a rack for alchemical bottles. It's like a 2x5 rack, and she puts it on a cross beam of the fence to balance it for Trill.
I think Trill will probably keep one in her bag, at least, in her own bag.
At which point Mag sighs deeply and instead pulls out a different rack that's 3x3, so it can hold the remaining 9.
I'll give you a hero point for that.
Nice.
I'm not sure I've ever felt so validated. And while still kneeling on the ground, she, without making eye contact with either Trill or Istin, says, "So we're back in there today. Where do we go first?"
Trill's face gets very serious.
We have to save the Star Watch. We can't let them down. We can't let more people get hurt by this.
Can't say I think there'll be any of them left to save up there.
Don't say that. Mark's in there.
Well, at any rate, one way or another, we have to find them.
Agreed.
Where's Ao?
Ale comes strolling up, tossing her new impossible cake. Oh, hey guys.
Okay. Let's go.
And Trill's ready. Trill's like off. Little gnome on a mission.
I can't decide if I'm hoping we encounter Belcora again, or I'm hoping we can find the Star Watch members first.
Trill stops, turns her head around, wind is blowing the blue that has come back into her hair in the air like ribbons. She looks very seriously at Mag.
Oh. We'll find Belcora. We'll take care of her.
Then she turns around and keeps walking.
It sort of thoughtfully follows, and she goes, yeah. Like, got a bunch of time to think about the, like, almost dying thing last night. And here's what I realized. She sort of smiles. She's like, she picked me. I mean, she must have known that, like, I was a threat for taking over the light. Like, she wouldn't have just killed me if it, like, for no good reason.
You know, you seem to be twisting what happened in a way to flatter yourself. How many deaths do you think Belcora is responsible for?
I don't know, a bunch?
A whole bunch would be my guess as well. What would make your death special?
Well, it's me.
But she doesn't know you.
I mean, she does. She came and she was like, get out. And then she killed me. Like, you don't think that was an accident, right?
I do. You hadn't healed up very much after our last fight.
Okay, look, I am perfectly good at healing. And she like pulls out the gauze as if to make a point.
I know that. Honestly, you do use a bit too much gauze for my own preferences, but well, you know, my understanding is there's it's a spectrum. Too much is just right for one person.
That's not a binary, okay?
No, of course not. No, I'm just saying the fourth wrapping around. Unless it's really deep for me.
What is it that the two of you are prattling on about?
Well, gauze and how much is
saying I'm not
appropriate in
special,
any given.
and I'm saying I am. She interrupts.
Haven't we got more important things to discuss? More important things to consider? Do you have enough gauze to patch us up?
She unrolls a bunch. Yeah, I think so.
Then maybe we should be thinking more about why we might need to be patched up.
Well,
Trill, what was it that she did to us last time? I felt like I could hear her in my mind. It was like the wall came alive and rushed out at me. I don't even remember choosing to run. It was like the next thing I thought, I was neck deep in water in the outside, 3 rooms away.
Oh, she got well inside our heads.
Oh, I didn't think it was that bad.
System was the only one who didn't really respond.
Got a crit success on it.
Well, how do we keep her out of them?
We don't let her surprise us.
We take control of the light.
Yeah, well,
Trill for the What's is like, that's not a terrible idea.
oh God, Trill, don't make me start it on you.
No. Only for good. Only to stop Belcor. Then it's gone.
Yeah, just for like whatever the light asks us to do. Iston, speaking of light, your staff is still glowing. Trill, it started doing this last night. What?
Oh yeah, that's
What's up with that? And she starts like she sort of like suddenly snaps into that blue light, and she's like putting her paw finger towards it.
Oh, right. I managed to activate this last night. It's a spell striker staff. It's a weapon designed particularly for warriors who use my combination of the arcane and martial techniques. You must have heard I was adventuring and learned how I like to fight, I guess. It was thoughtful of him, which, let's be honest, is a fucking first, but anyway, it's kind of fun. I started setting some of the whiskey bottles outside his back porch on fire. It was actually a frightening 2 minutes as I was trying to put it out, but I hadn't prepared any water spills this morning. So I had to run around, and then I grabbed one thing which I thought was water. It turned out to be alcohol, so that was not good. But right, it's a thoughtful gift, I guess.
Cool.
By the way, you mentioned last night, and I wanted to follow up on it. You said something about running away from your problems, and I just want to let you know if you ever want to talk about something. I left home pretty early too, but I was running towards something, not from something, and I think that makes a big difference.
She's sort of moved by this, but like maybe putting on a little bit of a brave face. Like you can tell she's moved, but she's, not like hugging him or shrieking.
That would be more worrisome, I think.
That would
by
be,
far,
right?
Coming from Ale, yeah.
She sort of nods and she's like, yeah. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm running from or running toward, but it's helpful. I mean, I think, and she looks at Mag and Trill after looking at us, then sometimes I think maybe we're all running from something.
Or two.
Or two. Let's go run towards something today. And she walks off more purposefully.
So the four of you finish making your way towards the dungeon and settle into the difficult work of pushing your way down underground.
What time would you say it is right now, Lars? As we arrive, just trying to, because it feels like it takes so much longer now to get down to the level we're at.
I think that even if you're hurrying, even if you're waking up early, even if you're doing these errands that you did early, we're looking at around 9:30 by the time you're down on the 8th level.
Checks out.
So by the time you settle down, you're riding the elevator down onto the 8th floor. The chains screeching is as you're slowly working your way down 100 feet from the 7th level down to the 8th level. And you find yourselves once more standing on that dock where the Star Watch, it seems, was attacked, first by a wisp, then by Belcora Haravex, and the dock from which they seem to have leapt into the water and started to swim. Around you, there are a number of possible paths of continuing your investigation. There's a beach that surrounds the platform that the elevator comes down. There are a few doors leading inside from that beach. To your west, there's a barricade that has been built across one of the entrances to what looks like a natural cavern. In front of you, there is the pier that the Star Watch fought these bog mummies, these children of Belcora. There were 4 rowboats at this pier. There are currently 3 because one of them was destroyed by a chul.
Right.
I remember that.
So I don't know what your next steps are going to be. Do you want to return to the area where you fought those Calignes? Do you want to venture somewhere else on the water? Do you want to explore the areas around this beach where these large creatures have been maintained in these cages? What do you think?
Trill, I think, immediately starts pointing towards the doors.
We gotta get inside some of these rooms. We have to see what's in there. Maybe they went into the rooms to hide, to investigate. They've got to be somewhere in there. We haven't come across a lot on the water yet. It's time to look inside.
I think Mag agrees.
Istin nods as well and starts walking with him.
Yeah.
Same.
The nearest door is this one off to the west.
Yeah.
And this one off to the west that you're walking towards, David, is not actually a door. This is a barricade. This is like this natural cavern continues to the west, and there is a makeshift barricade that has been erected out of wood and iron straps. There's something written on this makeshift barricade in Gnomish.
Trill can read. Trill knows Gnomish.
Trill steps up to this barricade, looks at this writing, and it says, "Danger, do not open."
Oh, God, there's another gug behind there, isn't there?
Just.
Trill's trying to tell, like, is this really written by a gnome? Like, how trustworthy does she feel this is?
Have you seen any gnomes on this floor?
Well, didn't you say the bog mummies were similar to gnomes?
Yes, the bog mummies look to you as though they are mummified gnomes.
Mag is not inclined to open another door with a warning on it.
Yeah.
Istin definitely is.
Trill's looking at it.
This looks like
Does it look like it's been there for a long time, Lars?
It looks to you like the barricade has been broken and rebuilt a number of times over.
Yeah, Trill looks at.
this is not recent. They're not behind this barricade.
Well, we don't know that, though. Look, I'm not saying we have to, fight a gug if we... But if we give up now, we're letting our fear win.
Well, hold on, Istin. This isn't fear. This is I'm trying for once to be logical here. There are those bog mummies that I think could have been gnomes at one point, and if what's behind there is a thing that's turning them into bog mummies, and this hasn't been opened in a while, this is not where we need to go at this moment.
Or it could be one of their enemies that we could make allies with.
What is happening today? All of this chatter. And yeah, Mag turns on her heel and walks to the next door.
This door is like a soggy, waterlogged door that you can tell by the frame looks like it's leading to an interior space. Let me try to explain to you what I mean by this. You have, in going down this elevator, left the interior of the Abomination vaults and descended into a large natural cavern. This looks like it is potentially a doorway back inside the construction of that Belcora Haravex would have built, hundreds of years ago.
Yeah. Let's think about trying that.
Trill says to Istin,
We will see what's behind there. Just not yet.
Mag turns back and says, half the time we enter these things through a secret door anyhow. We end up walking out of a wall and we found out whatever's back there.
That's what I'm saying.
I really love secret doors.
They're great. Secret doors are the best.
May we?
After you, Magdalena. And this thing comes up and stacks up next to her on the wall, ready to go in.
I just want to say, David, maybe this isn't the time to say this. I am loving the fact that the night before this, Mag opened up, shared this very intimate story, this secret that she's been hiding about these artifacts from this torment that she's received throughout her life.
Yeah.
And now the next day, it's like the time for sharing seems to be over. It's time to get to work, is sort of the vibe that I'm picking up off of Mag.
Yeah. When there's a lot going on in your life, bickering over relatively marginal stuff can be a little harder to take.
I get it. What are the four of you doing as you're exploring?
Is my totally in-world take on the situation.
Trill's searching,
Um,
like she usually is.
Okay.
I think Istin will be raising his staff in like raising a shield.
A defensive maneuver.
Yeah.
How about Ao?
She is scouting and looking for traps.
And what is Mag doing?
Mag is scouting for enemies, Lars.
Okay. So in scouting for enemies, Mag is able to put her ear to this door. And you hear the sound of like very, very gentle scraping. Like a... And then like a tick, like a... And then shortly after that, and then another click. So it sounds like something is moving slowly and methodically with a little bit of a every once in a while.
It sounds like there's someone or something maybe pacing, limping.
Is it a giant crab?
Open it.
Mag opens it.
Mag opens the door. And she sees that she's looking into something that resembles a game room.
Ooh.
There are 4 small little couches, little Davenports, that circle a small table towards the corner of this room. On the table is an elongated game board split into rows of squares. And the noise, she realizes, is from a trio of bog mummies participating in what looks like an endless board game, shifting the pieces across the game board and landing the pieces down as they cycle on in what looks like eternity, playing a game that is impossible to win forever. Every once in a while, there's like a little, like chitter from one of them over to the right side of the room, like a hee, I've got you now. The one to the north says, "You're cheating. Mommy would get mad at you." And then the one closest to you, who looks older, a rasp, comes out and says, "Shut up, you two. Finish your turn. It's my turn now." As you open the door, they see you. They look at you and they say, "Oh, more people from above have come to hurt Mommy." This is all in Undercommon, so it sounds like this. Nyang nyang bonobo. Nyang nyang bonobo. And everybody, please roll for initiative. Yeah. Roll for initiative. They talk about Mommy.
There's, oh my gosh, I'm loving, I have so much going through my head right now. I love it all.
Lars, cool with you if I say Ao was hidden behind the door, so she's doing stealth?
You didn't say that you were hiding, so I can't do that. I'm sorry.
For goodness sake. All right, fine.
Nice or cold.
Okay. So as these 3 bog mummies playing a never-ending game attempt to defend their territory, let's see what everybody rolled for initiative, starting with Zoe. How did Ao do?
Pretty good. I guess she's feeling alert, even though she's, not hiding, obviously. 31.
Okay. How did Armat do?
Not so good. Istin got a 24. I think he was distracted by trying to figure out what game the bog mummies were playing, and like
Give me a knowledge roll. Give me a knowledge
Oh,
check.
heck yeah. Which knowledge should I roll?
You pick.
Okay.
Player's choice.
Society?
Yes.
Society feels right.
Okay. Yeah, Isthan knows exactly what this game is.
Oh, awesome.
This is a game played by deep gnomes. Maybe you've adventured with deep gnomes in the past. This game is called The Dark Chase. You've got such a good society roll on this that you are able to glimpse as you see these creatures standing up and running towards you to start attacking. You see that it's missing pieces. It's impossible to win. This game is missing the pieces required to let you finish it. And so the three of these bog mummies have been playing this impossible to win game for centuries.
Isthan is very satisfied by learning that.
And Robin, how did Trill do? on
Not
initiative?
great for Trill, at least. It was a 24 as well.
Okay. And how did Mag do?
26 for Mag.
Because you were scouting, that pushes you up over the first of these enemy combatants. So Mag breaks the tie there. And on top of that, Trill and Isthan also break the tie with this elder-looking child of Belcora. So Mag's ability to see the situation enables her friends to get the jump on these three, which is incroyable.
Good Galtian.
Guess what? It's the
What?
beginning of round 1. Ao, Isthan, Mag, and Trill are on the far side of a door in the exterior of this cave. Mag is close to this door. She's just opened this door and sees these children of Belcora, these bog mummies, running towards her. It is either Ao or Mag's turn at the beginning of round 1 as the combat that is currently split between a swampy cave and a game room kicks off.
I think with Mag closer to the door, Ao is happy to have her go first.
Okay,
Just
sounds
sort of juts her chin at her.
With Ao delaying, it is now Mag's turn. Mag is able to act first. What is Mag going to do?
I heard recently
Oh, yeah.
that the
please.
rules of the game have changed.
Yeah, PaizoCon was this last weekend from when we were recording this episode. They mentioned in the Pathfinder remaster panel at PaizoCon that one of the changes that's coming to the Barbarian in Player Core 2 is that Rage is now a free action at initiative. So let's adopt that rule. David, if you want Mag to Rage at the time of rolling initiative, let's do it.
1, please.
I also forgot my initiative thing.
Do you want to do it? Let's do it. Let's get both
Would
of
it
these
work
initiative
because
things
Trill
out of the
can't
way.
see them?
You can play a scary song.
So they can
I'm
still
okay with
hear.
it.
Okay, so yeah, Trill's
I'll
also
allow
going to
it.
do her. So David's deciding on raging. Trill's going to do her rage cry thing.
Battle cry.
cry.
And I'm going to force you to target the thing that's closest
Yeah,
to
that
you,
makes
since you can't
obviously,
see it.
yeah. And that uses versatile performance to demoralize, right?
Correct.
And that was not great. That was a 24.
And so you don't get the sense that anybody is afraid of the song at this time. So that's a failure.
Makes sense because she's at the back of the line. Maybe they don't hear it very well.
Great.
I'm okay with that.
Yep. Okay, so David, you get this
Mhm.
free rage, and let's pick up from Mag's turn.
So, I love this new rule, and I love it for flavor reasons and mechanical reasons, or for mechanical reasons and flavor reasons, I guess. Like,
Sure.
it is awfully nice to be able to rage, move, and do a cool 2-action attack in the same, which is sort of like that's what my character does. She does 3 things: she rages, she moves, and she does a cool 2-action attack. And so it's always taken like all of this kind of fumbling. Oh well, maybe I can. She wouldn't rage until next turn. Oh well, she's gonna race, and then she's just gonna. I've never been using knockdown. Like, I'm very pleased by this. It also feels to me like it makes sense. When you start,
I
like,
think
mad dogging the barbarian, she gets mad. She doesn't need to take a minute.
totally makes sense to me. So as Mag flies into this rage, at the start of her turn, I need her to make this fortitude save.
Absolutely.
As she feels as though her lungs are starting to fill with water.
Yes. Love a good fort save. Boy, that's a terrible roll. How's a 22?
Okay. The 22 is that you feel like this water is starting to creep up your lungs into your throat. You're unable to speak or breathe. So you got to hold your breath,
Okay.
which you have a lot of breath.
Yeah.
And you're going to need to save at the end of your turn again.
Okay.
As this like aura washing off of these bog mummies like catches into in Mag's throat, and she feels like she's drowning.
They emanate bogginess. Well, and to be clear, when they say mommy, they're the children of Belcora, right? They mean Belcora. They're talking about Belcora, the Nimbaloth, the Boggy, Bogmother.
That's what Trill's assuming.
Okay, cool. Mag runs into the room to the space in between the three of them, which is where their game board is. Okay, so Mag runs into the room and jumps up onto the table, scattering the game board pieces across the room.
Do the bog mummies rage?
Oh, they were just about to. Oh.
They hate this. You see all three of them look up at Mag as she's standing on the game board, and they just go, "Ah!" And they all three of them look like they want to kill you.
Great. I'm going to take a knockdown swing at the one on the right. Well, let's bash and smash. 26 to hit.
That hits.
Ooh, terrible damage roll. It's only 15 damage.
Okay.
And here is that athletics check to trip. That's a 30.
30 is a success. You run over, jump on the game table, slam them with the Earthbreaker, and then slam them down on the table so they are now prone.
And that's what a barbarian's first turn should be like. Feels
Yeah.
amazing.
Feels
I like
good.
it.
Thanks, Paizo.
It is good. Thank you, Paizo. As Ao sees Mag rush into the room and just start wrecking shop, she has the chance to rejoin the initiative. Is that what you want to do?
Yes. So Ao comes in through the door and flanks the wise bog mummy, which obviously we know is wise because of how wise it looks. And then just, I think she's just screaming. I don't know. Just, ah! She slashes at it twice with the kukri.
Its eyebrows definitely say, I am wise.
That's true. All right, that's a 34.
That's absolutely hit. Nearly a crit.
Love that. All right. And I get my little flat-footed damage. That's 19 points of damage.
Okay.
And then stabby stab number 2. Oh, that's an 18.
That misses. As Ao does all this, she feels like her throat is also starting to fill up with water. Can I please have this fortitude save?
$25.
Okay. That's a failure. So Ao also feels like she's starting to drown, and she has to start holding her breath. So for the position from where Istin and Trill are looking, you see two of your friends run in and start attacking in this like coordinated onslaught, but they clam up, and you see them like start looking like their eyes are bulging out slightly as they are starting to feel as though they are drowning here in this room. But Ao, big turn from Ao, running in, landing a good strike on one of these enemies. And it is now the turn of this bog mummy that is to the immediate north of Mag. And they scream out, "You interrupted my game!" And a big fist reaches up and tries to uppercut Mag in the bottom of the chin. Here comes a strike from this bog mummy. It's a 23 to hit.
23 does not hit.
The second strike, their other fist comes through. 26 to hit.
That does. With rage lowering my AC.
So Mag gets socked for 12 points of damage and feels as this mummy's fist connects with her jaw, feels like rot pouring off of the mummy's hand, and it starts to work its way up her face.
Oh, shit.
And we will pick up from there
Ugh.
next time.
Oh, Mag's getting mummy rot again?
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated Community Use Policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. Paizo does not recognize, endorse, or sponsor this project in any way, and we are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in the Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. On our website, tabletopgold.com, you can learn more about us and our shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.